Secret of the Garden from the Memoirs of an Olive Tree by E.B. Vargas. Ever notice how sometimes horrible thoughts will sneak into your head? One day you're feeling great and then bam! Sadness, anger, or uneasiness overtakes you for no reason at all. Where do such thoughts come from? How can we get rid of them? Ollie the olive tree remembers Tortoise, Hare, and Meadowlark having to do battle with just such thoughts. But the three friends finally learn the secret of the garden. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Ephesians 6:11 NIV, the armor of God. The gardener puttered around his beloved garden. He spoke over an olive tree. You are precious. He spoke over the flowers. I value you. He spoke over the pond. You are worth it. Also in this garden lived a tortoise. Tortoise dipped in the shallow of the pond for one delightful moment, fresh and clean. Enjoying yourself? Asked Hare with a smile. Ever since that race of long ago, Tortoise and Hare had become best of friends. It's amazing what a little humbleness will bring to a relationship. Hare, this is the life, answered Tortoise. Where else could one splash one's little toes and listen to the concert of Meadowlark, all in the company of his best friend? Meadowlark chirped, as always, encouraging words. The lesson I learned from your persistence, Tortoise, inspires me to sing every day. Indeed, life was very pleasant in the garden under the care of the gardener. Until one day, a mysterious, dark little bubble floated a ways until it came upon Meadowlark as she sang. Her song became quiet and somber. You know, sometimes I might just want to rest my voice, Meadowlark said. By the way, why are you just lazying around in the sun, Tortoise? Whatever happened to the persistent little fellow we all once admired? Ouch! Meadowlark's snide comment hurt Tortoise. Tortoise wasn't quite sure what to say. And curiously, another dark bubble crept up, this time resting over Tortoise. Hare joined the conversation. Meadowlark, that's no way to speak to my friend Tortoise. Yet even as Hare spoke, a third dark bubble stalked behind him. Hare continued speaking. But it seems Meadowlark has a point, Tortoise. You are getting a little chubby in the knee. The bubble over Tortoise seemed to grow, and so bore down upon Tortoise all the more. But the bubble over Hare seemed to stretch Hare's neck like it was being pulled up by a helium-filled balloon. Still he continued. Take, for example, my fine legs, built for speed, baby. Really, I don't know why I keep hanging around you. You just slow me down. Meadowlark continued the snide remarks toward Tortoise. Hare continued to boast. The bubbles weren't so little anymore. The sky grew quite dark from their swelling. Tortoise began to pull his little head into his shell. Behind this shield, he could not hear those taunts as strongly. Instead, Tortoise could hear the beat of his own heart. What was that? His heartbeat seemed to form words. You are mine. I love you. You are family. Words of the gardener came to him through his own heartbeat, and Tortoise had the good sense to listen. He did belong in this garden, and he was sure of the gardener's love. Somehow he knew that the discouragement he felt was linked to that oppressive dark bubble over him. Somehow he knew that the snide words of Meadowlark and the boasting pride of Hare were only due to their dark bubbles. The truth was that the ties of friendship were stronger than those dark bubbles. Meadowlark and Hare were worth fighting for. Peeking out of his shell just a little, he could tell that the dark bubble of despair was now fully pressing down on his shell. Tortoise, remembering the truth spoken over him by the gardener, snapped his beak and shouted, "I am of value!" Bam! Instantly the dark bubble popped. Gone was the depression and discouragement. The noise startled both Hare and Meadowlark. "Friends," called Tortoise, "come out from under your dark bubbles. Your words did hurt me, but I forgive you. I love you." It seemed Meadowlark noticed her bubble for the first time. If there was one thing she knew, it was the sky, and that dark bubble just didn't belong. Taking aim, she steadied her beak and pop! Her bubble also exploded. "That's for sneaking up on me," she sang. But Hare didn't seem to understand. Still, he boasted, "Wow, Meadowlark, too bad you burst your bubble with your beak. See, I have a nice smooth nose, yet still awesomely aerodynamic. My bubble will never pop." Tortoise called out, "We gotta help Hare. We gotta pop his bubble. He's just not his true self." Meadowlark knew this was true. She started to sing, and boy, did she sing! Her song was of faith, of hope, and of love. She sang of the truth of the garden. She sang of the friendship that held them all together like an invisible cord that could not be broken. Her song echoed the loving words the gardener had spoken over each of them. Closer and closer she came to Hare. Finally, in an operatic crescendo, she pierced the dark bubble. Bam! Hare was back to his sweet, lovable self. "Wow! Thanks, Meadowlark. How foolish I was. Sorry for the hurtful things I said to you earlier, Tortoise. You are my best friend and always will be my best friend." "I know, Hare, I know." Tortoise just smiled, but his smile faded. Off in the distance he could see a dark bubble beginning to form over a family of frogs. "Hare, look!" Hare knew just what to do. He flexed those fine legs of his that were built for speed. He set that aerodynamic nose of his in the direction he wanted to go, and zoom! Off he ran, eager to warn others of the dark bubbles of pride, discouragement, resentment, and who knew what else lurked. Meadowlark was close behind, ready to echo encouraging words and pop any bubble that threatened friendships. What a team the three had become! And the gardener puttered around in his beloved garden, speaking words of life to all who would listen. He knew the secret. Visit memoirsofAnOliveTree.com. Enjoy the entire series, including easy-to-read explanations for children, lesson plans for teacher, parents, crafts, games, songs, and more.